Hello, everybody. My name is Lisa Kelly, and I'm from Admin Guru. And today I'm going to be talking about time management. This is a segment of a larger course that I teach to creative entrepreneurs, heart-centered, and conscious entrepreneurs here in Toronto. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you this little segment. I find time management productivity is a big topic for entrepreneurs and myself. I'm not removed from this sort of trouble, even though I do teach it and I've done a ton of research on it. I still have issues with time management myself. But really, what I'm finding is it's more about me management as opposed to time management. So I'm going to minimize myself because I can be totally distracted by that little window there. And let's just get going into the presentation. So yeah, once again, I'm Lisa. My business is Admin Guru. And here is a little bit about me. You can take a screenshot of this, or this will be up again at the end of the presentation. So let's just jump right into the area of time management. So my first tip is find your peak times when you're most productive. Is it in the morning? Is it during the day? Is it night? That's sort of really important because you want to be doing the activities that bring you closest to the money during your most productive time. You don't want to be doing kind of wasteful things during your most productive time. So let's just move on, and I'll probably elaborate a bit more on that. Oh, and there are quizzes online. If you're not quite exactly sure when you're most productive, there are quizzes that you can take to double check. I myself am most productive in the morning, but that only began once I had my son. Before that, I think I was much more productive later in the day. Okay, number 2, adhere to a schedule as best that you can. Set dates and times in your calendar or project manager. So, I mean, it seems pretty common sense, but if it's not scheduled, it's not going to get done. So be sure to be marking things in your calendar or in your to-do list and putting dates to it. So next, we're going to talk about prioritizing. So it's a great idea to prioritize first thing each morning. And some people use the MIT approach, which is your most important 3. I do like to do a bit of a brain dump every morning and just write everything down, everything that's in my head as soon as I get up. And then I take a look and find what's the most important projects, and also making sure that I'm going to be doing the things that are making money for my business first. The other option would be to use the priority matrix. Now, I'm not sure if any of you or some of you might have heard of it already, but if you look at the little diagram, in fact, I'll zoom in on that. We have 2 vertical columns, which are urgent and not urgent, and then we have 2 horizontal rows, important and not important. And basically, the goal is to be working in the green quadrant, which is important stuff, but not urgent. And that's where you're going to be doing preparing, planning, prevention, relationship building, and some personal development or professional development. That area is usually where you are working closest to the money. So keep this in mind. There are apps for this, and we'll go into that a little deeper soon enough. Okay, this is totally common sense. I mean, I don't know why that one seems to be, it's a no-brainer to me, but it shocks me every time I teach a class to find out that many people don't have their notifications turned off. And what I'm referring to is social media or email or any other things that are going to take your focus away from the task at hand. I actually challenge you to try and maybe get rid of your data plan on your phone for a month or two or even a week. See if you can go without using your data plan while you're out. I certainly feel that it's a much easier way to stay unplugged. And if you're not plugged in when you're out and about, and you can only get Wi-Fi access, say when you go into a cafe or into someone else's home, that this is definitely one step in the right direction for building new habits. So number 4, if you didn't know this, it's kind of not really news anymore, but multitasking does not work. So I've used tools to block out distractions and remain focused. The research has shown that jumping around from one thing to the other and trying to do several tasks at once is not productive, and it also is very counterproductive, and it just sort of amplifies the not being able to focus on things very well. So just remember this acronym, and you will, oh, sorry for the gap. I thought my son was coming in the door. I may have to stop earlier than I had planned. But anyways, this acronym is great. Follow one course until successful. Every time you want to focus, just sort of say it to yourself or make it your mantra. I don't know. It came across my path one day, and I thought, I'm adding that to my slideshow. I liked it. So I have a bunch of sort of curated, tried, trusted, and true top management and productivity tools, all saved in a place called Listly. So that's the URL there. I'm going to take you there right now, actually. Let's go to Listly. I think I may not be recording. I think I might have to share the screen. Bring that in. Screen share. Okay, and then let's type in Listly. There we go. My lists. Sorry for the little break there. Okay, so yeah, Listly, I don't think I need it that big actually. But so I've just got a big long list of great time management and productivity tools. A lot of them I use. I'm not going to go into detail about each and every one here, but these 3 top ones here are ones that I use all the time. And LastPass is a godsend. Get on it if you're not using it yet. Here's the priority matrix. This works for the iPad, your iPhone. I believe you can use it on a Mac version as well. And if you're not familiar with the Pomodoro technique, you might want to read up on this, because this here is sort of the way of focusing, and it's proven, researched. A book has been written about it. You can send away for this timer and get the book. But basically, the author, the man who did the research, Francesco Cirillo, he has found that working in 25-minute intervals with short, like 5-10 minute breaks in between, helps you get things done in a much more productive and quick way. So let's get rid of that. Sweet Process. This is nice for documenting your operating procedures. Here's Habit Clock. It's an app. way of life, schedule your emails, text expander. I am using this now and I like it. I've been using it for about a month. Check it out. There's a great video, hell yeah or no. Basically, if it's not hell yeah, then it's a no. So don't take on a gajillion things when you're already busy enough as it is. And then there's this new Freedom app. These people, the developers are from Toronto, and it's just another blocker. And you can set times for it as to when it blocks things out and what it blocks out. That one's paid. I started off with this like kind of ugly one right here. It's called Leech Block, and it does the job. It does everything that Freedom is like looking all glossy and shiny and new doing, but it's pretty much the same stuff. So check those things out. Like I said, just go to Listly, and then my handle is BizTaskGuru. I was just making sure I didn't have any more to show. And you will see a list of all my lists that I've created myself, and then also a bunch of lists that are my favorite lists. So let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation, and I'm just going to close the Firefox window. We'll get back up to full screen and continue on. So we touched on that. So another great way to manage your time is to batch processes. And really what you're doing is you're grouping like activities together and doing them at once. An inefficient way is to be doing like activities spread out during the day. And you may know that doing social media spread out throughout the day is probably not the best use of your time. Going back to when we're most productive, I like doing my social media in the evening because that is when I'm least productive, and I find I'm not going to be spending as much time on social media, which I don't really need to. It's more of just a way to sort of stay in the loop and be engaged. But to be honest, it doesn't make me a lot of money. I mean, maybe it brings me more top of mind if I'm out there in front of people often, but so far, social media has not been a way that's brought me clients. So, evaluate. If it's bringing you money, then go for it and make sure you do it in a batch process, but kind of move it down the totem pole if it's not helping you pay your bills. So yeah, paying bills is another batch process that, in my case, I do it once a week. I schedule something in my calendar called Money Attention, and that's where I do my books and I pay my bills and I invoice people and do all of that stuff once a week on Monday afternoons. Emailing, another one. And I go into email management a lot more in the 3-hour course, which I teach in Toronto at Camp Tech often. But emailing really should only be checked a couple times a day, and you only want to be spending 5 to 10 minutes there. And how you do that, there are ways to do that and feel organized in that manner, but we're not going to go into that here. So if you've got a retail store or even an online store, whatever, where you've got to be ordering product or even just office supplies or whatever it is, do it all at the same time. Like, schedule it if you need to, and just do it as a batch process. Don't order things willy-nilly all over the place. It's just not, it's not a productive way to work. Reading subscription emails. This is a great one. These days I've been, I have a filter on my email. I'm not subscribed to many. I unsubscribe to a bunch, but they go into a folder, and then I also schedule myself time to read those emails at the end of the week, usually on a Friday afternoon. And I, sorry, there was a car alarm in the background. I put them into Instapaper, which has my speed reading functionality, and I love it. So I also have Instapaper and many other items in Listly, apps like that that help you save time. I think it's called best reading apps or where to store things apps, that type of thing. Look for that if you want to learn more about where to put things once you want to store them, but read them later, sort of idea. Okay, so Parkinson's law: work expands so as to fill the time able for its completion. So if I've given myself 2 weeks to do a job, I will take that full 2 weeks. However, if I give myself 1 week or even half a week, you can bet that I'm going to get the exact same job done in that amount of time. So think about that. And that sort of concludes my my little time management discussion. I go into it a lot more, as I said, in the course that I teach at Camp Tech. But if you are interested in learning about more tools that I use across the board, whether it's for email management or online marketing, I love tech tools, and I'm always trying them out and putting them into curated areas, and I'm always adding to my toolbox and always updating and getting rid of things because tech changes so rapidly. I invite you to sign up for my newsletter, which I don't send out very often, probably quarterly, maybe twice a quarter. And I'm not a salesy kind of person. A lot of the time, those newsletters are just sort of like a little update as to what's going on in my world and things that I think you might be interested in learning about. So yeah, get that toolbox and you'll have a plethora of good stuff to check out. And there we are. We're at the end of the presentation. Once again, my name is Lisa Kelly, and if you've got any questions, please engage with me on social media. I love talking to you in that way when I am in quiet mode in the evening, and I hope you have a great day, and to your flow and to your projects and to your time management,